Hi ladies, today is week 5, day 3 in our packets. It is May 6th, and we are looking at pages 14, 15, and 16 today for our lesson. So today we are going to be talking about converting customary units of capacity. So our learning target is I can convert customary units of capacity. And when we're talking about capacity, we're talking about those liquid measurements. So we're going to be looking at cups, fluid ounces. Another way that this will be represented is just ounces, pints, gallons, and quarts. And you can kind of think about like a gallon of milk, and then also just kind of these different measuring cups. These are those liquid measuring cups. So we're talking about that capacity, which is going to be kind of those liquid measurements. Again, you have a conversion chart that you're going to want to make sure that you're referencing today for our lesson. I'm flipping back and forth to be able to solve those problems. So we're looking at page 15 to start. Again, page 16 is going to be that daily review for today's lesson. But the independent practice before you want to make sure you do your assessment is going to be on page 15. All right, so taking a look at number 1, it says, why would you change 4 gallons, 5 quarts to 5 gallons and 1 quart? And a way to think about this is, so we have 5 gallons and 4 gallons and 5 quarts, and we're changing that to 5 gallons and 1 quart. And I want you to think about maybe why this would make sense. So if we're looking at our conversion chart, if we're going from quarts to gallons, you can kind of see that that's either dividing by 4 or multiplying by 4, which means that a gallon is 4 quarts. So if I have 5 quarts, that means that I can make an entire gallon out of those quarts and still have some quarts left over. So on this problem, the main reason why we would want to make sure we're converting that is because 4 quarts, I'm going to say 4 QT, which means quarts, is the same as 1 gallon. Okay, and if it's the same, that means that we can take those quarts and turn it into 1 gallon. So basically, 5 quarts can be, wow, I am struggling, aren't I? Let me try that one more time. 5 quarts can be converted to another gallon with 1 quart left over. So basically, when we converted it, it just makes more sense. We take that quart, we turn it into a bigger unit, so then it just makes more sense. On number 2, it says, why is 1/8 cup equal to 1 fluid ounce? So if I have, again, let's take a look at our conversion chart. And we're going from 1/8 cup to ounces. So if we're thinking about this, every cup contains 8 ounces. So if we are to be converting that, 1 cup can be divided into 8 equal parts, which means that each part equals 1 fluid ounce. So basically, if I have, we'll do circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if we convert this, each of these represents 1 fluid ounce, and then 8 of them all together is going to equal 1 cup. So 1 out of 8 cups is going to be the same as 1 fluid ounce. So this is 1 fluid ounce. It's 1 out of these 8 total cups. So one way to kind of think about that is that I'm struggling. 1 cup can be divided into 8 equal parts. Each part equals 1 ounce. Okay, so thinking about our picture again, each of these circles represents 1 ounce. 8 of them all together equals 1 cup. So if I were to highlight all 8 of these, so this is 1 ounce, 2 ounce, 3 ounce, 4 ounce, 5 ounce, 6 ounce, 7 ounces, and 8 ounces, and all of those together would fill up your 1 cup. All right, thinking about number 3, so let's take a look at this. On number 3, we have 32 cups, and we're turning those 32 cups into gallons. So we're starting here at cups, and we're going all the way over to gallons. So we're going to start with 32, and we have to go part by part. So we have to go from cups to pints first. So 32, we're going to divide by 2, which gives us 16. So we've done this part. Now we need to go from pints to quarts. So we're going to divide by 2 again. 16 divided by 2 gives me 8. And then we're going to do the last part, which is divide by 4. 8 divided by 4 is 2. We've done all of our parts. We went from cups to pints, pints to quarts, quarts to gallons, and we're left with 2 gallons. So 32 cups is 2 full gallons. All right, take a look at number 4. We have half of a quart and we're going to gallons. So we have quarts right here, which is going to be 1/2. And we're going from quarts to gallons. So we're going to divide that by 4. Remember, we're dividing a fraction, so we're going to use keep, change, flip, so the 1/2 stays the same. We're going to flip this and turn this into multiplication. So we're taking 1/2 times 1/4. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 4 is 8. So 1/2 of a quart is going to be 1/8 gallon. So as long as you're using this chart, you should be able to very easily convert these measurements. So starting at 48 quarts, so we have quarts right here, and we're going to pints, so we're going backwards. So we have 48, and we're going from quarts to pints, so we're going to multiply that by 2. Go ahead and stack and do that standard algorithm, 48 times 2. If you're not ready, go ahead and pause. 48 times 2 is going to give me 96. And we're going from quarts to pints, and all we do is multiply by 2, which means we have 96 pints. Next one, we have 6 1/8 quart. So 6 1/8. And we have quarts, and we're going all the way to cups. So we're going to have to do multiply by 2 and then multiply by 2 again. So before we can multiply a fraction, we need to turn this fraction into an improper fraction. So this mixed number cannot be multiplied. So 6 times 8 is 48, plus 1 is 49. So we have 49/8. And then we're going to go from quarts to pints. So we're going to multiply by 2 over 1. So taking 49 and multiplying that by 2 gives us 98. And then 8 times 1 is 8. And then we did quarts to pints. Now we need to do pints to cups. So we're going to multiply by 2 again. We have 2 over 1. Set this up, 98 times 2 If you're not ready, go ahead and pause. 98 times 2 gives me 196. And then 8 times 1 is 8. So in order to figure out how many cups that's going to give you, we're going to need to divide 196 by 8. So one way to do this would be to set it up. So we have 196. We're going to divide that by 8. 8 can go into 19 2 times. 8 times 2 is 16. We subtract. 9 minus 6 is 3. Bring down our 6. 8 goes into 36 4 times. 8 times 4 is 32. And 6 minus 2 is 4. Because we're not left with anything else here, we have to go in evenly, which means that this is going to become a fraction. We have 4/8, and we know that 4/8 is the same as 1/2. So on number 6, we have 24 and 1/2. So number 6 is going to be 24 and 1/2. I'm kind of running out of space on the other side. So this is number 6, 24 and 1/2. 4 and 1/2. All right, so let's look at number 7. Number 7, we're going from 3 quarts, 1 pint to just pints. So remember, this is already in pints, so we don't want to change it. We just want to add it back in to our conversion of 3 quarts. So we're starting with 3 quarts, and we're going to pints, which means that we're just going to multiply by 2. And when I multiply by 2, I get 6. And then I still have that 1 pint over here that I need to add in. So 6 plus 1 gives me a total of 7 pints. So that one was pretty simple. Last one on this top part is 9 pints equals how many quarts with leftover pints. So remember, whatever we're doing is not going to go in evenly, so our remainder is going to be the leftover pints. But if we want to do all in quarts, it's going to be a fraction. So we're starting with 9 pints, and we're going to quarts, which means we're taking 9 and we're dividing it in half, which we know is not something we can do. So what we're going to do is let's think about this problem. 9 divided by 2. 2 goes into 9. 4 times, 2 times 4 is 8. We subtract and have 1 left over, which means that this could be our remainder. So 4 remainder 1, so 4 quarts and 1 pint left over. Or we turn this into a fraction, which would be 1/2. So it'd be 4 and 1/2 quarts. All right, so down below on number 21, I just want you to think about, so you have a 1 here and a 2 here. So you're going to be going from gallons to quarts, quarts to pints, pints to cups, cups to ounces. So this is what you're going to be looking at today. So you have 1 gallon. You're going from gallons to quarts. You're going from quarts to pints, from pints to cups, from cups to ounces. So this yellow is 1 question, and then you're going to do it again for 2. So if you have 2 gallons, so you would start 2 times 4, and then you would do your answer times 2. And then this is going to be your second part. So focusing on if you had 1 gallon, what that would be across the board, and then 2 gallons, what that would be across the board. All right, so on page 16, you have, let's see if I did this right. On page 16, you have the daily review for today, finding area, finding the quotient of a division problem. So this is all just review. Product of 7 twelfths and 14. Product we know means multiplication. So this is just going to be a quick review. There are 7 questions. So this should be pretty simple for you today. Remember, you want to make sure that you're using this chart to help you on any of these problems. And then once you have completed your independent practice today, so numbers 9 through 20 are going to be exactly like what we did up here on 3 through 8. And then number 21, again, you're just looking, this is 1 gallon. You're going to go from 1 gallon to how many quarts, whatever that answer is, to pints, pints to cups, cups to ounces. And you're going to do that for 1 gallon and 2 gallons. Once you've completed that entire independent practice, you're going to go to Pearson Realize and complete the quick check for today, which is 5, 6, 20 quick check. Remember that this is an assessment. This is how I know what you're doing and how you're doing. So it's very, very important for you to complete this assignment in order to get your daily participation points.